the idea of a noun. Okay. Oh, yeah, I think I'm live now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me just check out here. Yeah, I'm live. So, what's a noun? What's the idea of a noun? Yeah. It's a word that represents an information, an idea in general. So these are nouns, yeah? And what are we talking about these? I'll ask you to take a look at the sentences, okay? I just have some examples here. So we have here is a boy, that's a house, we're friends, I love bananas. And you can just notice that every sentence has an underscore word or a highlighted word or an underlined word. Okay, so in this case, what does these sentences have in common? Okay, they all have a person or a people. Yeah, they are just referring to an object or maybe places, foods, and that's what we call nouns. Okay, these words that represents even a person or some people or an object or more than one object, places, different types of living or things related to that, food, different kinds of food, fruits, vegetables. Okay, so these words, they are called nouns. Okay, these words are called nouns. These are the words that we call nouns in general. So we're talking about nouns today. We're talking about nouns. Okay, the main topic, well, the subject that we're gonna talk to today is this: nouns in general. Of course, in a life of an hour, I cannot summarize or explain all the ideas related to nouns because I have a short time. 1 hour is a short time to explain and to define everything that is related to a noun, okay? So today I'm just gonna tell you the basis or the basic elements related to nouns. And if you have any doubt, just let me know, all right? So that's it. In a syntax, what's the syntax? Remember that last vol I just brought you or I just exposed you the syntax? What's the syntax? Remember last week I just copy and paste the same slide because we are talking about the same language. We are still talking about English, okay? So when I talk about syntax, remember that we have subject, verb, adjective and noun. So that's the idea, okay? So we have these sentences. Rodney is a rude boy. Donna plays an old piano. Corey and Tyler are going through a long way. But just remember that in this time, the underlined or the underscored word is the noun. Okay, the bold one is the adjective that we already talked last week. If you didn't watch, just take a look at my previous Vol Vitzeland online live that we talked about adjectives. But this time we are talking about nouns. Okay, so boy, piano, way, these are nouns. Okay, we have two concrete nouns here, boy and piano, and way is an abstract one, an abstract noun. Okay, so we have these ideas. So it can be concrete, it can be abstract, it can be a proper noun or a common noun, depending on the project, depending on the idea, all right? I'm just verifying here my smartphone. Okay, so nouns are words that represent ideas. They represent ideas. Okay? They can be related to concept, people, things, and so on. So that's why I told you in the beginning of the live session that a noun is a basis, yeah, is the essential idea of a communication. Okay, when we're communicating, when we're talking to each other, when we are exchanging ideas, when we are exchanging thoughts. We basically use nouns. It's the base, okay? We basically use, and they are the basis of a communication. All right? So that's why it's so important. That's why they are so relevant in our daily lives, okay? So nouns, they are found everywhere, in every sentence, or I wouldn't say every, but they are really found in many, many sentences, all right? So these are nouns, these words that represents idea, places, food, objects, or materials, or functions, or even feelings, something abstract, or designs, okay, or even some situations that were in the past, emotions, okay, can be nouns as well. These are nouns, right? Nouns in general. That's the idea of a noun in general, right? So the main part of speech, or of the speech, is associated to the nouns, to the noun, associated to nouns, or to nouns, are articles, adjectives, and verbs. These are the parts of the speech that are associated to it. So when you find a noun, when you encounter a noun, for example, in a reading text, or even whilst you're speaking or talking to someone else, or telling a story, or when you are listening to a song, to music, okay, I wouldn't say a song or a music, it depends, okay, because even when we consider, for example, musical notes or different types of instruments, these are nouns as well, okay? So everything that is related to communication and expressing ideas, exchanging ideas, yeah, or even saving an idea, yeah. Nowadays, like, we are dealing with online classes. We have these nouns as well in our equipment, for example, or softwares, or even peripheral things, okay? So these are nouns as well. I'm just giving examples of IT because I use it to teach system development students, and I know something related to IT, but I don't know how to develop, okay? But even as a developer, for example, a system developer, they also use nouns, yes, to program, to set up the information related to a software or to a function, a specific function. So these are nouns as well, all right? So let's check out, let's verify these examples that I just uh, came up with. Okay, the computer. Then we can have a sentence like the computer is broken. Okay, the computer is broken. A rock rose over the mountain, for example, or rose over the floor. Okay, the guys are waiting for the girls. Okay, a sound is heard was heard yesterday. So these are fragments, these are excerpts of sentences or phrases. I would say clause sentences or clauses in this case. So the computer, if we just notice the first word, the, a, or a, depending on the place you are, the accent. The and a, we have these words as articles. Okay, so in general, when we have a noun, we have an article previously. Of course, there are some exceptions. There are some cases that you don't have a noun, or you're not going to write or speak or say or express a noun before an article, before a noun, okay? And I'm going to explain you further. I'm going to explain you in the next vol related to articles, okay? We're going to talk about articles, and we're going to verify the cases that we don't use articles, okay? In the following vol, we're going to verify these cases that we did not use articles. Okay, so this vol is related to nouns. So today we're just gonna talk about nouns, right? So the computer, a rock, the guys, the sound, just notice that we always have these articles, okay? The and a as defined the and indefinite a, okay? That's the idea, just to remember and to associate, because we don't learn a language. It doesn't matter which language is it, but we don't learn it without a context, without a circumstance. Okay, we have to consider everything that is surrounding a concept, an idea. Okay, so today we're talking about nouns, but of course we're also we're also gonna talk about articles, verbs, because they are associated to these nouns, okay? Other examples, some cars run, these houses are, Gloria and Cynthia go, the cats jump. So in this case, we have these italic words. What are these words? Which part of speech are them? In this case, we have verbs, okay? We have verbs in simple present, all right? And they are also associated to nouns, okay? When we have a noun, a word, an idea, a concept, an expression, these noun is gonna do something, or there's gonna it is gonna suffer any kind of action as a passive voice, for example, in a passive voice, right? So we have some cars run, those houses are, Gloria and Cynthia go, the three cats jump. So these elements, they are doing, or in some cases they can also suffer, or they can also be inferred by another situation, okay, in a passive voice. So that's the main idea of it, all right? So we have these association, and the third one that we talked was adjectives. So let's verify here. A white dog, a green leaf, the cold weather, a single man. How can we complete these sentences? For example, the white dog is dirty. Okay, just an idea. A green leaf falls from the sky. The cold weather is annoying. It is annoying. A single man wants to get married. All right? Uh, so these are ideas and these are possibilities related to the sentences. And just notice that in this case we have a white, a green, cold, single, all right? These words are adjectives. Remember last of all that we talked about adjectives. And why did I start talking about adjectives and noun after a while? Why did I choose these sentences, this sequence? Because when we are writing or when we are expressing our ideas in English, we have to understand that first of all comes an adjective and then a noun, okay? This is the syntax, this is the order, this is the collocation, okay? That's why I decided to start with an adjective and then a noun, okay? So last week we talked about adjective, and today we are talking about nouns and different kinds of nouns, different types of nouns, all right? That's why I decided to follow the sequence, all right? Very, very good. So how to classify the nouns? How can we classify these nouns, all right? So we can have I think I'm just gonna upper a little bit. Okay. Common nouns, any kind of nouns like ball or house or love or peace. Okay, these are common nouns. Proper nouns. Proper nouns, they are referring to a specific person or some people. They refer to places. In this case, we can consider, for example, countries, continents, cities, towns. Okay, so specific ones when we name them, when describe their names. So we have a proper noun in this case. Okay, common noun is any kind of noun. But proper, we are referring to specific person or people or place, right? So, or the name of something. So, in general, we use proper noun for names, okay? Different types of names or different names in general, right? Singular when we have just one, for example, a pen or a sheet of paper or a bottle of water or a wall. All right, so just one in this case, just one. And plural nouns when we have two or more, for example, glasses or streets or even bicycles or motorcycles or clouds. So we have more than one. We don't have just one. We have two or more uh, nouns or two or more units. All right. Concrete, it's something that we can touch. All right. A smartphone, a tablet, a wire, uh, headphone, a notebook, a drawer. Okay, these things we can touch, we can observe. Okay, we can feel sometimes. Okay, so it depends on the situation, but we can feel them in a, I wouldn't say raw or in a direct way, all right? So we can feel these, we can touch, hands, right? So these nouns are concrete. These are concrete nouns, right? And abstract. In this case, abstract is related to something that we cannot touch, right? Like we can consider love or hate, feelings, yeah? Or even a thought, for example, or the word emotion, an emotion, yeah. So things that we cannot touch, we cannot like keep in our drawer or in our pocket. No, we cannot touch. These are abstract now. So concrete, we can touch, we can feel, we can see, we can interact. And abstract, of course, an abstract you cannot. You can also interact with uh, an abstract noun. But in this case, let's just consider these, all right? And collective, when we have a group of things, or families, for example, or a group of students, a class, okay, like with a lot of people, or when we have a group of animals in general, okay? So we consider groups. Collective nouns are related to groups, all right? A path of wolves, for example, yeah? So these are collective. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Mm-hmm. And plural nouns. This part is really, really important, all right? Because there are some specific situations in English that we use different suffixes, okay? Or even we change the word thoroughly or completely. So this is really important, especially if you're learning English. It's really important to understand these, okay? And in general, just as many other languages like Spanish, Portuguese, we just add s, okay? So houses, cats, blouses to form the plural nouns, okay? Plural nouns in general. We just add a letter s, okay? That's it. Some exceptions. What do we have as exceptions? We have words that ends in x, ss, ch. We add es in general. Okay, so boss is gonna be bosses, process is gonna become processes, church gonna become churches. All right, box, boxes, fox, foxes. Okay, so when we are gonna form the plural noun of these words, we add es and not just s. Okay, so pay attention to these words. Another exception, words that ends with F or FE, fee, okay? In this case, what do we do? How can we form these plural nouns? So we remove these F or FE and we add VES, VES. So wife become wives. It becomes wives, okay? Knife becomes knives. Life becomes life. So pay attention, especially when you're studying, reading, and mainly when you are writing, okay? Pay attention, remember these rules. Try to remember these words, the suffix of these words, so you're not gonna make mistake, okay? So wife, wives, knife, knives, life, lives, okay? Don't forget this, it's really, really important, all right? Some other exception, words that ends in Y. What do? We remove the Y and we add IES, IES, right? So country becomes countries, body becomes bodies, company becomes companies, and so on. So words that ends in Y, we just remove and add IES. So this is another exception. I know sometimes when you're learning a language, it's a little bit hard, but if you pay attention to these exceptions, if you study, if you do exercises related to nouns, I'm sure you're gonna succeed, okay? So just pay attention to this class, and after a while, take a look at some exercise on internet or in your grammar book, okay? Related to nouns. Practice, practice, because practice makes perfect, okay? And I'm sure you're gonna succeed, okay? We're gonna do some exercises after a while, but these are just some notes or some ideas, okay? So pay attention and then practice, 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 all right? What else we have here? Irregular. Some words, they are irregular nouns, okay? Like mouse, mice, okay? The plural of mouse, mice. Man, men, okay? Woman, women. Pay attention to this word women, right? Because we write W-M-E-N. So when you're thinking about this word, maybe you're gonna pronounce woman, but it's wrong, okay? This pronounce is wrong. You're mispronouncing this word. So when you observe the letter E in this word, try to think about the sound of this E. It's in letter O. It's contained in letter O. So women and not woman. No, women, women, women. All right. Pay attention to this pronunciation. Women. Okay. So tooth becomes teeth, foot, feet. Okay. So these are some irregular nouns. Some nouns that are different from their original words, okay? So pay attention when you were writing, pay attention to this, try to remember. I know sometimes a little bit hard, but there's no other way. These things should be memorized, you should know by heart, so you have to practice and you have to read. So read every day and write every day. So this is gonna make you perfect, a perfect English communicator, okay? That's the deal. There's no other way, all right? Now we have some exercises, all right? We're gonna talk about these exercises. Which of the following words are nouns, okay? I'm not with my marker today with these internet problems, but I'm just gonna show you, okay? I think I can, yeah, I can highlight this way. Okay, so which of the following words are noun? That's a pity. That's a pity. In this case, in this first sentence, the word is pity. Okay, that's a pity. That's a shame. It's a pity. It's something that is not good, but you have no good feelings and you think it could be better. Okay, that's a pity. That's a pity. So pity is a noun. Okay, this first word sentence, pity is a noun. Okay, remember the structure. Okay, Subject, subject, verb, adjective, and noun. So, all right. In this case, we have the noun in the end of the sentence. Are these girl? Are the girl and the boy okay? Are the girl and the boy okay? In this case, pay attention there. I could use, of course, are they okay? Yeah, we can use the pronoun, but we're gonna talk about it in a following vowel, okay? Today I'm not gonna talk about vowel, but we're gonna have another one to talk about it. But in this case, we have the and the, so this is a little bit easier to identify. If you remember the an article and a noun, okay? So just remember the girl and boy in this case, they are nouns, okay? And okay, in this case, is related to adverb. We're gonna talk about it later on as well, okay? Fam is over here. Fam is over here. She's over here. Or he is over here, okay? Fam, in this case, is a proper noun, right? So fam is a noun, right? So sentence number 3, fam is a noun, okay? They brought a sheep to the farm. They brought a sheep to the farm. They brought a sheep. Sheep, an animal, okay? To the farm, a place. So we have two nouns in the same sentence. They brought a sheep to the noun. They brought a sheep to the farm, okay? Look at my new hair. Look at my new hair. Okay, so look at my new hair. In this case, hair is a noun. Okay, and remember, new. We saw previously. We saw it during the last vowel that it's an adjective. Okay, don't forget the last vowel. New is an adjective. Okay, and now and hair is a noun. Okay. Dan and Jesse. Dan is Jesse's best friend. Dan is Jesse's best friend. So in this case, we can consider Dan, Jesse, okay, as proper nouns, and friend as well. A friend is a noun, okay? Is an abstract noun, so just remember, friend is also a noun. And best. Do you remember? Last vowel. Best is an adjective, okay? So in this case, we have friend, Dan, and Jesse's. Not the apostrophe S. We're going to talk about possessive S furtherly. Okay, but in this moment, just Dan, Jesse, and friend. Okay? Another exercise here. How to form the plural noun. Bicycle. In this case, it's going to be bicycles. Okay? Just add an S. So, bicycles. Spaceship. Spaceships. Okay? Spaceships. We don't change anything. Spaceships with S, okay? Branch. Now, in this case, we have branches. ES, okay? So branch is the part of a tree, for example, or a division. Branches, okay? Fox. Foxes, okay? Foxes. Person. Pay attention. Person, we have an irregular noun here as well. Okay, so person becomes people. When we have more than a person, we say people. Okay, so person becomes people. Don't forget this, okay? Just memorize, know it by heart. Love becomes loves. A love, more than one loves. All right? Yeah, and this word is really interesting because it can be a verb as well. Yeah. It's really interesting word. Love, loves. All right. So these are some plural nouns. Now we have these unscramble the words and form sentences. I love this exercise because it helps us to fix and to understand the collocations and the way the sentences are formed in English. Okay. So, my kitchen, mother, the is in. In this case, we can say, my mother is in the kitchen. My mother is in the kitchen. My mother is in the kitchen. All right? Oh, how you are. So these, pay attention because we have a question mark, so we know that this one is a question. So, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? We're gonna talk about questions in the future, but in this case, just remember, okay? We have a question. How old are you? A mug has my brother. A mug has my brother. In this case, of course, we're gonna invert, okay? My brother has a mug. My brother has a mug. My brother has a mug. Okay, so that's it. Okay. Dora Angeles from Islos. In this case, we have Los Angeles. Okay, yeah, I know some people may not know this, but Los Angeles is a very well-known place, right? So Los Angeles. Dora is from Los Angeles. Dora is from Los Angeles. Okay, so we're not gonna misunderstand this, okay? Not put Dora Angeles laws. No, Dora is from Los Angeles, all right? Don't worry, because if you're applying a test or an exam in general, they're gonna understand and they're gonna write or propose you some well-known places, right? All right. Run the from me mouse. The mouse ran from me. Okay, just appear to the mouse and he or it ran from me. Okay, the mouse ran from me. It ran from me. Okay, the mouse ran from me. And is water a liquid? Well, water is a liquid. Water is a liquid. Okay, so let's try to understand which are the nouns in the sentences. Okay, as we're talking about nouns today, so let's understand. So we have here kitchen, mother, number one. Okay, so sentence number one, nouns, kitchen, mother. Sentence number two, uh, yeah, in this case, old is being considered an adjective. Yeah, so it's not properly a noun. Okay, in this case. So number three, because how old are you? So the old is related to your age. If you say age, okay, age is a noun, but not in this case. Okay. Brother, in this case, okay, mug and brother, we have two nouns, yeah? Sentence number four, we have Dora and Los Angeles. Dora and Los Angeles, so we have two proper nouns here, okay? Dora and Los Angeles. Sentence number five, we have mouse and, no, me is not, me is a pronoun, okay? So mouse, okay, run is a verb, so ran from me. And water, number six, sentence number six, water and liquid, all right? Water and liquid, so we have two nouns, okay? So that's the part, that's these part related to nouns. So match the sentences. So I also like this one because some tests, some exams, they apply these thing, and you have to match. So try to understand the syntax and the way the sentences are formed is really, really important. All right. So they are, mom is, Cynthia, Donna niece, it, I. In this case, we are talking about basic English. We are still in the basis, okay? The elementary part of English. So you're gonna observe the conjugation, yeah? And the ending of the sentences, if it matches, okay? So let's start. They are, in this case, of course, we can have are married, they are Or, but in this case, they are married is not gonna make any sense, okay? So they are making mistakes, all right? So they are making mistakes in this case, all right? Mom is. So we already have mom is not gonna have is Bob's friend again, so, because we already have is here. So what does match? My best friend. Okay, so mom is my best friend. She is my best friend. Mom is my best friend. Cynthia. Cynthia. Pay attention. In this case, we just have Cynthia, so we need to use an extra verb in the third person singular, okay? So Cynthia is Bob's friend. She is Bob's friend. Cynthia is Bob's friend, okay? Cynthia is Bob's friend. She is Bob's friend. All right? Don and niece. Don and niece. In this case, we have no other option. Don and niece are married. They are married. Don and niece. Oops. Don and niece are married. Okay, because it's plural and there's just one R here, one extra R here. So Don and niece are married. It was missing is here. It's an apartment. Yes, it's an apartment. It's an apartment. And I am learning English. I am learning English. All right? I am learning English. That's it. That's it. So it's really important to understand this part of matching. And now we have the last part, last exercise, the ending up, the summing it up. Okay? Considering the words, fill in the blanks. So I just created a text and some words, some, I would say some strong and even some words related to policy, okay, it's a little bit formal. But just to verify and just to check out the meanings, okay, of these nouns, right? So Luana is a brave girl. With Tanana and Tanana, she debated with her mother. The Tanana wasn't easy, but with her Tanana, she believed she could dictate her own Tanana. That's an attitude that shows Tanana and strongness. All right, so let's verify the words. We have citizenship, honor, courage, opinion, law, and battle. Okay, so in this case, we can just think about these words and how to fill in those blanks. Okay, this is also a common exercise you can find in many others, in many other exams, in many tests. Okay, if you apply to a test or an exam or different tests or different exams, you're gonna find this one as well. Okay, so you have to know the meaning of these nouns. We can have different words, but in this case we're just working on nouns. Okay, so we have Luana is a brave girl. With Tanana and Tanana, she debated with her mother. In this case, we can use different orders, okay, because we have and is a conjunction that allows some flexibility. So you can change the factor without changing the meaning, yeah? So we can use with honor and courage, for example, or with courage and honor, okay? She debated with her mother. The tanana wasn't easy. In this case, there's just one option. Battle. The battle wasn't easy. But with her tanana, she believed she could dictate her own tanana. Uh, yeah, in this case, we could use opinion with her opinion, but with her opinion, she believed she could dictate her own law. But with her opinion, she believed she could dictate her own law. All right? That's an attitude that shows tadana and strongness. So citizenship and strongness. Okay, we don't have any other option in this case. We just have citizenship and on and strongness. The ability, the skill of being strong. Okay. So that's it related to nouns. Okay. I had to rush a little bit due to the problems, but that's it. That's it. We basically use nouns in these situations of expressing an idea or expressing a specific situation. All right. Uh, ex- Expressing a concept or expressing something related to an object or a thing, something that is not concrete sometimes, or it can be concrete, can be a proper or common. So basically that's it. Okay, just end up with a quote. I don't know why it didn't appear. It's the second time that it doesn't appear here, but I created it. The reference, okay. Book, just enough English grammar. All right, so it's the same book that I'm using just to help during some explanations, but it's basically this book that is really simple. If you don't know this book, I really recommend you, especially if you're a beginner and if you like visual contact and things related to visual things. Okay, I really love this language. And that's it. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks. I'd like to thank you very much for being here, for participating, for observing and analyzing this live session, this Bitsolan online live session, the third one. I feel absolutely grateful and happy for this situation. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention. Next week we're gonna have a new one. We're gonna talk about articles, okay? So things related to articles or how to use articles, or the difference between an article and another. So don't miss it, okay? It's gonna be next week, 6:30. And that's it. I'm a little bit late, 30 minutes late, but that's it. And thank you very much for your attention, and see you next week. Bye bye.